Hi, everyone, and welcome to this week's class, which will focus on the upper region of the body. So we are kind of continuing with some of the ideas of last week, but really we're going to try and build a kind of roadmap, if you like, of the upper body. So rather than thinking about one specific element in isolation, we're going to think about the scapula, the shoulder joints, the neck, the head, the thoracic spine, all as a kind of continuum map session. So move through the session, I'd really like you to just tune into how everything feels, really. The feeling of everything connecting together, or whether maybe there's one part that feels like it's just slightly out of sync with everything else, and really breathing into this whole space. So, sort of everything from the mid rib upwards. So, to move through the session, if you have something that is like a strap, so that could be a top, a strap itself, a scarf, anything that can provide that kind of longish strap-like effect. And you might want a block or a book, or no, in fact, we will have that. We will have that. And then one other prop that you may or may want is something that you're going to be able to place just underneath the shoulder blade when you're lying down. So something that is going to be comfortable for you. I'm going to work with a block, but do you have something there for you if you don't want to be quite as high up as the block would make you? And hopefully it will be a bit clearer when we actually get to that point. So obviously moving with care and attention. So if anything doesn't feel so great, then know that you don't have to do that particular movement or posture. And you can always add things in, take things out. So really making this practice what you need it to be. We'll start off lying down. And just making sure that you've got either your block-like prop or your sort of rolled up top, or whatever it is that you want to place underneath the shoulder blade. Just having it to the side of you to begin with. So taking a few moments to check in with your breath. Bringing your breath to a steady pace and rhythm. And becoming aware of the movement of your rib cage with the inhales and the exhales. that motion of ebb and flow. Contact between the ribcage and round or the mat. If you have your eyes closed and steadily reopening them. And hand to the pelvis. The feet can come in if you have the legs out long, neutral sense. We'll move through a posterior and anterior tilt, backward and forward tilting motion. So it's feeling that movement of the pelvis beneath the hands and against the ground beneath you. Noticing what happens through the rib cage and sides of the body, all those different areas that are affected by the movement of the pelvis. And then resetting in a neutral stance. You have that neutral curve, that small curve through the lower back region, and the ribs are able to draw in a little there. And then bringing the hands to the thighs, and you can lightly press in here as though you're sending the skin of the thighs towards the knees, and then letting the tailbone follow, lifting up into a low bridge pose. So you've got lots of length and space through the sides of the body there. And then beginning to pull from those glutes. Remember, you can always place a prop between the thighs if you need a little bit more feedback, and you can always bring the hands from where they are to the hip creases or the front hip point. Taking a couple more pulls there. And lowering down to the ground. So with the elbows reaching up towards the ceiling, we'll start here with the feet down, taking a breath in and then exhaling, peeling up off of your shoulder blades. And then inhaling to lower back down. Exhaling. Peeling up, holding there for a moment. And inhaling to lower back down. Exhaling. Peeling up and then taking a small circular motion, so you're drawing back down towards the ground, over to the opposite side and back through, and then over in the opposite direction. And inhaling to draw back down. Exhaling, peeling up, and same again. So we'll go the opposite way first this time, drawing towards the ground, over to the opposite side, and then back. And once more in the opposite direction. And then inhaling to lower. Okay, so we're now going to incorporate the prop. So for me, this will be the block. This might be a different item for you. So it could be a blanket, it could be a rolled up top, anything like that. So if you just glance at me for a moment, you can see that I'm setting the prop just underneath the shoulder blades. And then the fingers will interlace again, the elbows will reach up, and then you can draw back there. So we're not taking the head all the way down towards the ground if you have a block or a book there. If you've got a roll underneath, then you might be a little bit more towards the ground. I'm hoping that that makes sense. Okay, taking a breath in here, and then exhaling, lifting up. So another version of what we've done on the ground, this time creating a little bit more freedom for the thoracic spine. Inhaling to draw back to where you started. Exhaling, peeling up. Inhaling to lower. 2 more of these. Exhaling up. Inhaling to lower. And final one. Exhaling to lift. Inhaling to draw back. And then unhooking the hands. You can roll to the side or lift up off your prop and come all the way back down to the ground. Just taking a couple cycles of breath there, just to see if you feel any greater freedom through the rib cage, around the mid and the upper back region. And then again, just interlacing the fingers behind the head and the neck, and we'll have the elbows drawing out wide. If this position really doesn't feel comfortable for you, then bring the hands down so they rest on the rib cage, like so. Okay, and we'll bring the thighs up and in towards us. So we're going to create a sort of dynamic supine twist action here. So we'll need to tap into our inner unit or our deep core muscles. And you can work with the breath however you'd like to, so however feels right for you. So drawing the legs over towards one side, and then back through center, up and over towards the opposite side. And then the same action again. So we're keeping this as a moving action. We're in motion rather than holding the rotation or the twist. So again, just as I said before, we're using those deep, stabilizing core muscles. So move through from one side to the other. Just one more each way. And then making your way up and all the way through to a quadruped stance. Okay, so quick check-in with the head and the neck here. So we don't want that dipping and diving action, lifting up the back of the skull. So we keep the neck, the cervical spine in line with everything else. So in its neutral position. Grabbing hold of your block or your book. So you've got it in front of you. And we'll focus in on the shoulder blades to begin with. So we're drawing the shoulder blades in towards each other. The spine isn't really moving. And then pressing the ground away so the shoulder blades spread. And then the same action again, drawing those shoulder blades in to retract and then pressing away to protract. So you might want to take a few more of these, or you can set the block or book underneath the right hand and bring the left hand behind the pelvis or the lower back to take that same motion with the right shoulder blade. So you're retracting, drawing that right shoulder blade in and then pressing the hand into the prop to spread away. So in and then away, in and away. And then we'll hold there. So in that slightly protracted position, so releasing the left arm and finding a little bit of movement through the left shoulder. So we're keeping the torso as steady as possible, maybe reaching forward, maybe reaching behind. So you've got the left hand planted prop. If you're doing both hands at the same through the shoulder, I should have said that on the first slide. So apologies for that. Okay, so the right hand will come behind, and then we've got the shoulder blade drawing in, and then protracting or spreading out. Okay, same action again. So the shoulder blade will move in or retract, and then spread away and protract. I think we did one or two more sets of these. And again, we'll hold in that slightly protracted position. The right arm can release and we'll find some movement through the right shoulder. Maybe reaching the arm out and then out behind. And then we'll set both hands back down to the ground, and we'll bring the forearms down. So we're going all the way down to the front of the body. So we'll walk the knees back and we'll lower to a sphinx position. So you've got the elbows pretty much under the shoulders, the chest nice and open here, and the head just slightly lifted. Taking a breath in and then exhaling to flex all round through the spine, the pelvis and the hips might lift a little, and then inhaling to release and draw back to where you started. Exhaling, letting the head draw down, maybe lifting the hips and the pelvis, and then inhaling to return. Exhaling out. And you can coordinate this next movement with your breath however you'd like to. So you'll take a gaze over the right shoulder and then back through the center into that flexed stance, and then back to extension, lifting up, and then taking the gaze over the left shoulder, and then back through, and then again, flexing or rounding. And then all the way back to where you started. And then we'll come all the way down to the front of the body, just resting the head down for a moment and taking a couple big cycles of breath here, really opening up or expanding through the back of the rib cage as much as you can. And then drawing the hands back beside the rib cage, beginning to the deep core, lifting the head of the arm bones and drawing up to the knees. And then in a little, so you've just got a tiny bit more before we come up to standing. So I know this is a bit more here than usual. And you bring the big toes either together or towards each other, various options here. So you can sit right back to the heels. If that feels like a bit of a challenge, then you could grab hold of your book or your block to sit back this way. And we'll have the arms reaching out in front. Okay, so we're up on the fingertips here. Taking the right hand behind the head. So we're taking a breath in there. Exhaling. We'll send the elbow, so it begins to draw towards the gap between the left arm and the knee. And then inhaling, keep pressing the head into the hand to rotate towards the right side. Exhaling, returning through the chest and the rib cage. And then inhaling, turning towards the right. One more time. Turning in and lifting up. And then back And we'll lift and place the right arm down. Left hand behind the head, taking a breath in, exhaling. You've got the left elbow almost as though it's going to thread underneath or between, pressing the head back, and then towards the right arm, and then towards the left, and final time. And then letting the left hand down, we'll draw up. If you're sitting on a block or a book, just lifting off, coming into table or quadruped. You can take a brief cat-cow if you'd like to. You can lift into downward dog, or you can step the feet straight forward. And we'll all meet in a standing position. Okay, so before we move into our sequence, we'll set the feet about hip distance apart, and we'll soften through the knees. So going to work into the shoulders just a little bit more here. I'm just going to move back. We've got some space. So make sure you've got enough space to be able to swing the arms forwards and back here. Letting the pelvis be nice and heavy, and then begin to let the arms swing in opposite directions. And then the rib cage can start to follow. So you're rotating from side to side. The knees can begin to create a little bouncy action here as well, if you'd like. And then you might see if you can make the swing a little bit bigger. And then you might even see if the hands can meet overhead in this kind of cross stance. And then final add-on, you might see if you can create this crossing over action. It's a little bit of a challenge for the brain as well. So this brain to movement connection, or brain to muscle connection. Just experimenting with a few more of those, or keeping with the swing, and then we'll come back to the swing, making it smaller again. And then letting those arms relax completely. Feeling that energy running from the upper body, the mid rib cage region, up from the shoulders as well, all the way down through the arms, through the hands and the fingertips. And then we'll set it at the top of your face, pressing down through the feet. The knees can be straight, or you can keep some bend in them, working those glutes. Inhaling, arms forwards and up. Exhaling, hinging out, letting those hands down, right leg back, knee down, foot flipping, resisting the ground. Inhaling, arms forwards and up. Exhaling, hands planting, sending the left leg back, knees lowering, lift the back of the head, glutes on, and lowering with the head of the arm bones lifted. Pulling back with the hands, inhaling for cobra, exhaling to lift from the center, making your way to your knees or rising to downward facing dog. Right leg drawing towards the top of your space, knee down, foot flipping, resisting the ground. Inhaling, arms forwards and up. Exhaling, hands planting, toes tucking, and drawing the left leg in. Inhaling to unhinge, rising up. Exhaling, arms returning. Inhaling, arms forwards and up. Repeating that cycle with the left leg leading. The hands setting, left leg back, knee down, foot flipping, resisting the ground. Arms sweeping forwards and up. Exhaling, hands down, extending the right leg back. Lowering the knees, lifting the back of the head all the way down with the heads of the arm bones lifted. Inhaling, pulling back, chest 3. Exhaling. And we'll lift either to downward dog or to the knees. Left leg drawing towards the top of the space. Knee down, foot flipping. Inhaling, arms forwards and up. Keep resisting the ground there. Exhaling, hands down. We'll draw the right leg all the way in. Inhaling, so unhinge. Exhaling, arms drawing back down. Adding on. Inhaling, arms forwards and up. Exhaling, hinging out, hands setting, right leg stepping back. You can keep the toes tucked or flip if it's not comfortable. You're going to grab hold of your strap like prop on the way up. So we'll take it behind the rib cage. So it's really just underneath the armpit or anywhere in that region. And we'll hold the prop. So you've got one end in each hand, just out to the side. Taking a breath in. And then with your exhale, releasing. And then pressing the back of the rib cage into your strap. So we're not losing the curve of the lower back completely here, but we don't want to be overdoing it. So we're pulling those ribs back. Taking another cycle of breath here with this connection. And then working with the breath however you prefer, so with the inhale or the exhale, turning towards the left and keep pulling the left side of that prop forward. So the back of the rib cage stays connected and then drawing back to center. And then the same action again, so just slight rotation towards the left thigh and then back. And one more time, keep pulling on that left side of your strap like prop. And then back through to the center. And we'll take the prop out of the way, just have it so you can reach it again for the next side. And we'll now bring the hands behind the head. So we're keeping that awareness through the rib cage. We'll draw the elbows in and down. So you can create a little pull with the hands there. And then with your in-breath, we'll lift the elbows up. So you can go lifting through the armpits too. And then opening out wide. Lifting those elbows up and in. And drawing down, repeating. Inhaling, lifting, lowering open. Exhaling, drawing in. And final add-on here. Inhaling to lift, and we'll take the right arm out behind into rotation. So you've got the left elbow reaching up here, and then all the way back in. Inhaling to lift, so the right elbow will reach, left arm drawing back, and then all the way in. And we'll set the hands down, moving into your plank. Knees can come down, go lifting, lowering, shoulders staying lifted. Inhaling, pulling back with the hands. Exhaling to pick up from the center. Knees can stay down or rising up to downward facing dog. Right leg drawing towards the top of your space. Left knee down, toes meet up. And then again, we'll lift up, setting that strap-like prop in place. We've got the hands and arms just slightly out wide here with that prop, taking a big cycle of breath, releasing and exhaling out. And then with your next cycle of breath, really find that connection with the back of the rib cage. And then working with the breath, however you need to, turning towards the right side and really pulling with that right side and then back to center. So this is a tiny, tiny movement, pulling with that right side and back through. One more time towards right, pulling with that side and then back through. And we'll set the prop to the side. Fingers behind the head and the neck, pressing the head back, elbows drawing forward, and then pulling down. Inhaling to lift, elbows reaching, opening up, flaring those elbows out, lifting back up from the armpit, and drawing down and in, or in and down. Inhaling, lifting up this big circling motion, elbows out, and then drawing in and down. And then inhaling, lifting up, we're turning towards the left arm will reach out, and then right elbow reaching upwards, and then all the way in and back down. And then inhaling to lift up, turning towards the right arm reaching behind, left elbow towards the ceiling, and then up and in. And then we'll set the hands down and draw the left leg all the way in, unhinging, arms reaching forwards and up, exhaling, arms releasing back down. Okay, final sequence here, and then we'll move into a little bit more standing work. Inhaling, arms forwards and up. Exhaling, hinging out, hands down, left leg back, knee lowering, rise up into a low lunge. And then spiraling the left shin. So it's turning to the side of the mat or the setup that you're in. So I'm facing away from you now. So we're in this sort of mini warrior two stance with the right hip in external rotation. Then reaching the arms out. And we'll focus on a little bit of rotation here. So left shoulder will internally rotate, so drawing forward, as the right shoulder externally rotates. The palm will draw towards the ceiling there, and then switching and back, and then moving through a few more times. And then to where we started, turning the left shin back in. If you need to pick up the knee, that's absolutely fine. And reaching towards the ceiling, nice big reach there. Hands down, right leg back, knees can lower, go lifted all the way to the ground, pulling back with the hand. And then with your exhale, picking up, the knees can stay down, or you can rise to downward facing dog. And the left leg to the final section here, lifting up. And then you've got the right shin spiraling. You can reset the left leg if you need to, arms reaching out. And then the right shoulder internally rotating. The left shoulder externally rotates. And then the same, the opposite way. A couple more. And then back to where you started. We'll spin the right shin round again. Arms reaching up, big, big lift there. And then setting the hands down, left leg through, and taking any child's pose of your choice. So the hips can draw right the way back or part the way back. And then beginning to rise up, resetting the hands. Again, you can step the legs forwards and lift up to standing from there, or press the ground away with the hips lifting, and then making your way towards the top to rise all the way up, and then exhaling, lowering the arms all the way back down. Okay, so we'll move straight into our next sequence from here. So we'll be heading into a high lunge, just so you know where we're eventually going. Arms drawing forwards and up with your inhale, exhaling, hinging out, hands setting, really resisting the ground there. Both legs can draw back to plank, knees up or down, and really pulling with the heels of the hands towards the feet. And imagine you're drawing the feet up towards the hands and then lowering to the ground. Okay, reaching the arms back. Keep those shoulders lifted. Rooting down through the pubic bone. Inhaling to lift for locust. And then exhaling to lower. Tucking the hands in, picking up from your center, and knees can stay down or rising
to downward facing dog. Keep resisting the ground if you're in downward dog. And right leg lifting out behind or extending out behind. So you're either in three-legged dog or bird dog. And keep pressing the ground away here. You have that connection right the way up through the armpits. And then we'll bring the thigh and the leg, the thigh and the foot all the way through to lift that into high lunge. Arms drawing up overhead. And turning towards the right thigh, and we'll take the arms out to a T shape. Remember, you can always bring the hands in if that feels a bit more comfortable and make it a smaller rotation. Taking another cycle of breath there. And then drawing the left hand inside or just ahead of the right foot. The left knee can lower, or you can keep it lifted, and the right arm drawing towards the ceiling. You're leaning back a little into the left shoulder blade here. And then bringing the right hand behind the head, I nearly said behind the right head then, behind the head, we only have one. And we'll draw in with the elbow down and then back up. Same action again. Turning towards the right side, keep that left hip lifted. The arm up again and back three. The quadruped or downward facing dog. Left leg extending or lifting, resisting the ground. Feeling that connection all the way up to the shoulders and the armpits, and then the left leg drawing three, rising up, high lunge, arms reaching up overhead, and then turning towards the left thigh. Remember, it doesn't need to be a big rotation. Arms reaching out, or you can have the arms in with a bit less rotation. And then the right hand drawing inside of the left fist or just ahead, left arm can reach up and leaning back into the right shoulder blade there. And then left hand behind the head. Remember, knee up or knee down. Turning towards the ground. Keep the head pressing into the hand and rotating again. And then drawing in and into the rotation. And final time. Arm can reach up if you'd like it to. Hand down, and we'll come back into your version of child's pose again. And then beginning to rise up, making your way to quadruped or the downward facing dog, your choice. Walking, stepping, or maybe hopping towards the top of your space. Inhaling, rising up exhaling, releasing the arms all the way back down. Okay, so we'll take one final sequence here. So we'll be ending up in a warrior two stance. Inhaling, arms forwards and up. Exhaling, hinging up, setting those hands down, finding that connection right through to the shoulders, and then making your way back through the plank, finding those points of connection again. You're drawing the heels of the hands towards the feet and the feet towards the heels of the hands, and then you can lower. Reaching the arms back, heads of arm bones lifted. Inhaling, Halakha. Exhaling, bringing the hands back, kicking up from your center to your knees, quadruped or downward facing dog. Right leg will lift again, finding that connection, pressing the hands into the ground, and then right leg drawing through, anchoring down with the left heel. So you've got the foot spinning, your warrior two setter. So a bit like we did earlier in that mini kneeling stance. Arms reaching out. And we'll come back to this internal and external rotation again of the shoulders. And then returning with the palms down and reaching the right arm up for your reverse warrior. And then keeping control through the center, we'll take the right palm inside of the thigh, might be the forearm, with the left arm reaching up, maybe reaching alongside the ear. And then up and through center, reaching back. And big windmill all the way over, pivoting on the back foot, quadruped or downward dog. Left leg will lift. Finding those points of connection again, right up to the armpits, resisting the ground. And the left leg through, right heel spiraling. We're rising up to warrior two. Arms reaching out. And then again, you've got the internal and external rotation at the same time. A couple more. And then both palms facing down. And we'll take the left arm up towards the ceiling. And then drawing through the center using the deep core, left hand or forearm inside of the thigh, right arm reaching up, or maybe alongside of the ear. And then up and back. And then up and forwards. And then drawing down. And we'll send the left leg back into plank with the knees lowering, then drawing the forearms down and coming all the way to your Sphinx pose. We're returning to the early stages again. And you see if anything feels different here. So elbows more or less under the shoulders, chest pulling through a little. And then using your next exhale to wave through, maybe lifting the hips and the pelvis And then inhaling to return. Exhaling, waving through. You can lift the hips and the pelvis again. Inhaling to return. Exhaling out. And then gazing over the right shoulder. Drawing back through. Rounding or flexing. And then back through. Over towards the left shoulder. And then last time. Rounding through. Turning to extension. And then coming all the way down and creating a little pillow with your hands. So one hand on top of the other, taking some nice big cycles of breath. Think of filling up the back of the rib cage. And then tucking the hands in, lifting up through the center, and draw back up to the knees, and come into your version of a child's pose, or you can flip straight over to the back of the body if you want to come to lie down right now. And then taking your time to make your way to lie down. Setting up for a bridge pose. You've got the feet about hip distance apart, heels a comfortable distance away from the hips and the sit bones, and the arms can be wherever you'd like them to. And we'll peel up from the tailbone. You can add in that pressing of the thighs if you'd like to. Taking 2 to 3 big cycles of breath here. And then steadily resetting the vertebrae until the hips and the pelvis arrive back on the ground. Okay, so we'll bring the thighs up and in towards us. Hands can come to the knees or the shins or the backs of the thighs. You can have them nice and tucked in now. And then taking a little movement here. That might be some small circles, or it might be a little rocking motion. And then those thighs drawing in again. Arms can come to a T shape, or again, you might have the hands resting on the rib cage. Legs over towards the right. And then guiding the legs back through center and over towards the left. And then gradually bringing the legs back in, letting the feet draw down to the ground. You can extend the legs so you can keep the knees bent. You can add in any props that you might like for your final relaxation. Bringing your focus back to your breath. Following the cycle of the inhale through to the exhale. And bringing your awareness to that upper body region, all of the area that we've worked with today, everything really from the sort of mid rib cage and above. Imagine following different lines, different map lines from one section through to another and continuing that weaving and connecting of all of those different elements, the shoulders, the shoulder blades, the chest wall, the thoracic spine, the neck or the cervical spine, even the head, and the limbs as well. How they all speak to each other and feed into one another. And how to really work with one element. We're really working with many parts. Everything in the human body is connected. You might like to stay here for a little longer, or you might be ready to bring some movement to the fingers and the toes, the hands and the feet. Maybe reaching the arms up overhead, And then gathering the arms and the legs in and returning to a seated then. You might want to bring the hands together at the heart center or one on top of the other, taking a moment to thank yourself for making this time in your day and in your week, and also thanking both your body and your mind for guiding and navigating you through today's practice. And thank you so much for joining me